Did you know that livestock farming in the United States is facing a silent crisis? In over 70 years, the U.S. herd has reached its lowest number, and the reality behind this might surprise you. What's behind this drastic decline, and how does it affect the global economy? Get ready to uncover details you never imagined about the impact of North American livestock farming. Are we witnessing the end of an era? Stay with us and find out more. Hello, everyone. I'm Juninho Mello, and welcome to the Celebrities Farm channel, where we dive into the mysteries and curiosities of the rural world and livestock farming. If you love uncovering the stories behind agriculture's big moments and want to stay updated, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. Don't forget to leave a like to help the channel grow and bring even more quality content your way. Did you know that livestock farming in the United States, one of the largest and most profitable in the world, is facing a historic decline? In 2023, the country's cattle herd reached its lowest number in over 7 decades. What caused such a significant drop? Are environmental challenges, climate change, or economic issues at play? The truth is that livestock farming is being impacted by a combination of factors. But what few know is that this process has a profound impact not only on the U.S. domestic market, but also on global beef exports. In this video, we'll explore the causes of this shrinkage and how it affects all of us. Get ready to understand the reasons behind this unexpected change and what it might mean for the future of global livestock farming. The decline in the U.S. cattle herd is not an isolated phenomenon. It reflects a series of interconnected issues that directly impact global livestock farming. To begin with, climate change has been one of the main factors. Prolonged droughts and extreme weather events, such as intense heat waves, affect the availability of pastures and water, forcing ranchers to reduce the number of animals to preserve resources. This scenario creates pressure on meat production, affecting supply, and driving up prices in the international market. Additionally, the COVID-19 pandemic brought unexpected challenges to the production chain. Disruptions in logistics and a labor shortage affected production and transportation, further complicating the maintenance of large herds. Many ranchers, faced with economic uncertainty, chose to reduce their herds, exacerbating the situation. However, market pressure also played a role. Rising feed costs and low beef prices forced many producers to reassess their businesses. Another relevant factor is the growing demand for plant-based alternatives and proteins. The shift toward more sustainable diets has led to a significant increase in the consumption of products like plant-based meat and substitutes, directly impacting the beef industry. This, in turn, has led to a decrease in demand for traditional meat, affecting the number of herds maintained. Meanwhile, the U.S. economy has shown signs of slowing down, and many ranchers are facing financial difficulties to keep their operations running. The combination of rising costs and shrinking profit margins has created a challenging reality, with many small producers being forced to leave the market, further contributing to the herd reduction. However, it's not just livestock farming that's being affected. U.S. beef exports have become scarcer, which resonates in international markets like Brazil and China, which are major consumers of this beef. The herd reduction also threatens the stability of prices in the global market, affecting the production chain in other countries. In this scenario, innovation appears as a light at the end of the tunnel. With the advancement of agricultural technologies and the development of more sustainable production systems, such as the use of regenerative pastures and low-impact farming practices, it is possible that U.S. livestock farming will recover its growth in the long run. Adapting to the new climate and economic scenario will require ranchers, more than ever, to innovate and remain resilient to ensure that meat production remains a viable and sustainable activity for the future. When analyzing the decline of the U.S. cattle herd, it is essential to understand the complex interplay between economic, environmental, and cultural factors. One of the most important aspects in this context is the relationship between ranchers and the country's agricultural policies. For decades, the U.S. government encouraged the expansion of the livestock sector with subsidies and programs that favored increased production. However, in recent years, a series of policies focused on sustainability and environmental control have started to directly influence how ranchers run their businesses. The increase in environmental regulation, especially regarding water use and pasture management, has pressured producers to rethink their practices. In the western states, which face frequent droughts, water has become an increasingly scarce resource, which in turn limits the number of animals a ranch can sustain. Furthermore, the growing awareness of the environmental impacts of livestock farming, such as methane emissions, has led to a search for more eco-friendly practices. However, the transition to more sustainable methods, such as regenerative grazing, requires a significant investment in technology and knowledge, which not all ranchers are willing or able to afford. On the other hand, technological innovation has proven to be one of the main alternatives to reversing this trend. The use of precision technologies, such as satellite monitoring and drones to optimize pasture management, has allowed ranchers to manage their herds more efficiently. Additionally, new solutions like balanced feeding to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and the introduction of digital farming systems, where herd data is collected and analyzed in real time, have shown promising results. These advances not only help reduce operational costs, but can also contribute to restoring soil and vegetation health, crucial elements for the long-term sustainability of livestock farming. Still, challenges are significant. Climate issues, such as rising temperatures and changing precipitation patterns, continue to be a critical factor. Some experts point out that prolonged droughts in the most affected states may become a recurring problem, making it even harder to keep the number of animals at sustainable levels. Moreover, fluctuations in meat prices and global market instability add another layer of uncertainty for ranchers. Many are being forced to rethink their business models, and rising production costs are making it even harder to stay competitive in the international market. One of the main solutions found by ranchers has been diversification. Many are investing in alternatives such as sustainable beef production, which involves practices that respect the environment, or even raising other species of animals that require fewer resources, such as goats and sheep. This diversification has proven not only to be a way to weather the crisis, but also a way to innovate within a transforming sector. Some ranchers have turned to producing meat with a lower environmental impact, meeting the growing demand for organic and more environmentally responsible products. Despite the obstacles, adaptation seems to be the key to the sector's continuity. The future of U.S. livestock farming as well as the industry worldwide, seems to depend on the ability of producers to adapt to the new market demands, which increasingly value sustainability and innovation. This requires ranchers to invest in new technologies, adopt greener farming practices, and prepare for a more challenging economic scenario. The changes may be painful in the short term, but they are necessary to ensure the sector's viability in the long run, not only for producers but also for consumers and the environment. After exploring the various aspects surrounding the decline in the U.S. cattle herd, it is clear that we are facing a challenging scenario, but also one of reflection and adaptation. The crisis affecting American livestock farming is not just an internal issue. It has global repercussions. Climate change, agricultural policies, technological advancements, and the growing demand for more sustainable practices are reshaping the sector in a profound way. However, this transformation is not entirely negative. On one hand, the global meat market is being pressured by reduced supply, which is driving up prices and challenging international production chains. On the other hand, the sector is being forced to innovate and adopt more sustainable and efficient practices, which could result in a more resilient industry in the future. The transition to a more sustainable production model may require significant efforts and investments in the short term, but in the long run, this change could ensure the viability of the livestock sector, with positive impacts for both the environment and consumers. The crucial point now is the ability of ranchers to adapt to the new demands and challenges of the market. Many are already investing in precision technologies, diversifying their activities, and adopting more responsible farming practices. Embracing these solutions, they will not only be protecting their businesses, but also ensuring that the sector remains relevant and sustainable for future generations. The key to success will be constant innovation and a willingness to embrace new ideas and technologies. With that, we can conclude that the reduction of the cattle herd in the United States is a reflection of the deep changes shaping global agriculture. We cannot ignore the challenges, but we must not underestimate the opportunities that arise. With adaptation, the future of livestock farming depends on the sector's ability to evolve, and with the right strategies, it can not only survive but thrive, meeting the new demands of an increasingly conscious and demanding global market. We have reached the end of this analysis on livestock farming in the United States and the impacts that the reduction of the herd has on the sector, not just in the country but worldwide. If you've made it this far, congratulations. You are a successful person who is seeking to understand the changes that shape our future. This is a complex topic, but one that can provide a new perspective on how global transformations directly affect the market and our daily choices. Now, I want to invite you to continue exploring more about this and other topics. Check out our recommended videos on the final screen, which will further expand your knowledge on livestock farming, sustainability, and innovations in the agricultural sector. And of course, leave your comment below. What do you think the future of livestock farming holds? Do you agree with the ideas we discussed here? Your opinion is very important to us. If you enjoyed this content, subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any video. And remember, the future of livestock farming depends on our ability to adapt. Let's move forward together, in search of a more sustainable and innovative world.